Good morning, everyone. This is Randy. I've got some very sad news this morning on Christ on the Coast. We had to put our sweet dog Posey down yesterday. Um, she's a dog that we got in 2017, and yesterday we were walking down the same trail and I was taking her for a walk on the beach, and brought her home, and Debbie fed her. I went to go play a little tennis in the morning, got home, and Debbie noticed that her breathing was getting really labored. So we rushed her up to Atascadero veterinary clinic, emergency clinic. And she had been there before in February, and she just wasn't breathing very well. And so they rushed her in to put oxygen on her. And then they came out 10 minutes later and just told us that that her temperature was going down and not up, and so they were going to keep her on this, they were going to admit her and keep her on the respirator or the oxygen deal, and gave us a list of things that they were going to then, do. They were going to x-ray her lungs, which they had done in February, and she had a little spot on them. And so they said they were going to keep her, and we asked, should we stay? And they said, well, no, you don't have to stay, but we'll keep you posted, or if you want to drive around for a couple hours. But we just have to make sure that she is, we have to just make sure that her body is stable before we do any of this, because she could have cardiac arrest. And then we're thinking, what? And so then we had to check off, do we want her resuscitated or not if she expires? And then they explain what happens. They'll crack her ribs probably, and and all this stuff. And we're thinking, no, we don't want her to be resuscitated. So anyway, they give us this list, and we go and pay for it all, and then we leave, and then we stop like a mile away from the place, and we say, what are we doing? And we just call back the doctor, and she says, well, we're going to take the x-rays, and then I'll let you know what the x-rays are. And I said, well, we're coming back. We're just gonna drive back, and we'll wait for your call. And so we went back, and the x-rays were terrible. All her lungs were completely blocked, restricted, and then it had spread through all of her breathing. And so we just made the decision that we just have to end her life here because she's suffering. And so that's what we did yesterday. And it's hard to talk about it, because this is our only dog we've ever had. And God has blessed us so much, Debbie and I so much. We got her in 2017, and when we got her, she was 2 years old. And my friend Nancy says, well, they always say they're 2 when you buy them or get them from the rescue. And she's been such an awesome companion. The thing about Posey was that if we didn't have Posey, we probably wouldn't have moved here, because she was the one who piqued the interest of the people last year. If you follow my videos, that our little Posey reminded this couple that saw us in Cayucas of their dog that they had lost. It looked exactly like their dog. And so we started a conversation, and then ended up moving right next door to them, because there were some houses that were for sale that were in our price range. And then lastly, we got Posey on September 17th, 2017. And she passed away yesterday at about 1:30 in the afternoon on July 12th, 2025. And today is July 13th, 2025, and that's Debbie's birthday. Worthy is your name, Jesus. Worthy is your praise. Worthy is your name. Worthy is your name, Jesus. You deserve the praise. Worthy is your name. Thank you for listening to my story. God is good. God is good all the time. We just praise you, and we hope that we get to see Posey again. Thank you for listening.